What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It's your girl, Miss Honey, coming in with a quick little bonus video. I wanted to talk about Aretha Franklin's funeral, just her family's overall disappointment with the funeral. Before we get started in that discussion, I would love to have you join my tribe. If you are not already a member of my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell right next to the subscribe button, as well as give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. I don't have any comments about the actual funeral because I did not watch the actual funeral. I have seen snippets of performances, and that's really all I'm interested in are the performances. I love to hear good soulful singing, so that's one of the reasons why I'm interested in the actual performances. I've heard various comments about Jennifer Hudson screaming too loud, Faith Hill not being a good choice, Ariana Grande's dress, as well as what is apparent to me to be a bit of groping from Bishop Ellis, I think that's his name, towards Ariana Grande. I've heard about the Clark sisters being off and being more of a performance as opposed to being more of a tribute to Aretha Franklin. I've heard about the eulogy being inappropriate, an hour-long inappropriate eulogy that had absolutely nothing to do with Aretha Franklin. I have heard about the family. I saw a clip of what appeared to be a comment put out there by one of the Franklin sons, who was saying, you know, all of the things that they were disappointed about, including all of the photos that are out there of her lying in her casket, especially the ones where I think she's in the gold dress. I think that's her final outfit. I think that was her burial outfit. And pictures of her being put in the tomb, the body being put in the tomb, and those types of pictures being out there on the internet. It's just a lot going on surrounding that. It's one of the reasons why funerals are so taxing and exhausting. I personally don't think funerals have anything to do with the individual that was in that body. That body is now laying in state. I don't think that was Aretha Franklin. I think that was a vessel that Aretha Franklin traveled this life in. I think Aretha Franklin's spirit is now with the Lord. The Bible says to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord, which means in death you are no longer with that body. So I hate for people to keep saying, you know, why they do Aretha like that. That wasn't how Aretha would have wanted it and all of this. Aretha is free. She is free. Not only is she free of pain, but she is free of all of this human chaos that comes with living. You know, she's not here to navigate these things anymore, and she is blessed not to have to be able to navigate these things anymore. She is free of all the weights of this world. So let's stop saying it was for Aretha Franklin. That funeral was for people out there in the world who needed a certain measure of closure. It was for the family who needed a certain measure of closure. That's what funerals are really, really for, which is why I don't know why they didn't do a public viewing, and after that public viewing, quietly bury her, and then have sort of a memorial service where people could come and speak with a beautiful photo of her, or digital photos on widescreen TVs that did digital montages, and then have people come and perform, and then have people come and sing. And something like that they could have even charged for, you know, to go to this memorial service which is really more like a performance, like a tribute, because I think they would have been happier separating the two instead of trying to put this sort of tribute performances together with the funeral, which was meant for closure, and it's supposed to be more solemn and more reflective. You've got preachers, and I saw this with my own eyes, preachers that are telling jokes, that are cracking jokes like it's Sunday service. And one of the reasons I'm sure they did these things the way they did it was because it was such a long period of time that people had to sit there. So to a certain degree, you have to entertain them. You can't ask people to stay in this state of mourning for 8 hours. It would be exhausting. Like, you would have the heaviest atmosphere known to man if you did that. And y'all know what I mean when I say heavy atmosphere. Just an atmosphere that's just full of mourning and sadness and grief. Okay, so a lot of people were probably trying to lighten the moment, and that can come across as inappropriate because you have to have a delicate hand with that type of thing. So I don't think now, after you have knowingly planned a funeral that is probably a good 75% entertainment, performance, musical tributes, and then try to take this, this 25% and say, this is the 25% where we're going to be respectful and mournful and reverence and all of this and get our closure. No, they should have gone ahead and had a smaller service for the family, for very, very close friends. And then they could have had a separate ceremony that paid tribute to her, that was chocked and packed full of performances, different performances. I did not see where there were people performing any of her stuff that was a little closer to the rock side. This is the house that Jack built, things like that. That would have been a great, just to hear a range of her music as she traveled through the years. I would have loved to have seen someone perform the Different World song that she did for the TV show A Different World. That's a very, very famous song because we all grew up kind of watching Cosby Show and then A Different World. And it would just been a moment to just bring everybody together, people singing the songs that they know and just being real jovial in the appropriate venue, in the appropriate space. That would have been the smartest thing to do. But you can't plan this big, huge spectacle. That's really what it was. It was a spectacle. All right. You can't plan this huge spectacle and then complain when people do not govern themselves in a completely and utterly mournful way, the same way that you are feeling. And not continue in the vein of spectacle. I think people took, everything that was going on when they dropped out there, who was going to be the lineup singers, and they were talking about that they were going to change your clothes, the clothes on the body and stuff like that. When you put all that stuff out there, you set the tone. You set the tone for what's going to happen. It's no way in the world I would have had all of that going on. And especially if it was my mom, especially with people I didn't know. I can't run the risk of people I don't know. People like Ariana Grande. You put her in a church ceremony. You don't tell her what she needs to be wearing. You don't tell her what would be appropriate. Your own mom said she doesn't like those short skirts. It's a matter of record. So these are all the things that you could have done to honor your mother. Number one, keeping the public out of a private ceremony. That would have been the best thing. And when I say public, I mean, some of that, those people that were performing had never been in the church before. Some of those people that were performing weren't necessarily familiar with her music. Shaka Khan not knowing any of those words. It was It was a spectacle. And that's what you got. You got spectacle behavior. It would have been better if you guys had funeralized your mom, and then after that have something where everybody can come together and we can sing and we can kumbaya and we can just remember her music. But it kind of bothers me when people keep saying why they do Aretha like that, why they treat Aretha is not here anymore. That's Aretha's body. That's Aretha's body. And so we all essentially, those of us who watched it and those of us who are we're talking about what happened when everybody gathered around her body to send her body off, to commit her body back to the ground or back to the earth, whatever, thing you want to call it. But it just didn't have anything to do with Aretha to me. It didn't. I don't know. I haven't heard Cicely Tyson's portion where she spoke. Most people, when they show Cicely Tyson talking, there's no audio. Everybody's just talking about the beautiful hat that she wore, which was really a piece of art. But I'd like to hear some things from that service that were meaningful, that were impactful. You're not really hearing about that. You're hearing more about the spectacle because the spectacle sells. So I think it's kind of what do you call it? It's kind of misguided from the Franklin family now to act as though that they are so appalled. When you guys put this spectacle together, you guys co-signed on this spectacle, and the spectacle that you put together, you got that and then some. Okay. And for a lot of people out there, they don't necessarily understand how African Americans do funeral services, or cultural. People who have an ethnic background do funeral services. A lot of it is on a larger scale. We do have a lot of emotionalism, but this was just pure entertainment. It was just pure entertainment, and everybody treated it as such. That was the true injustice. Whoever planned this thing out, collectively or singularly, you guys missed the ball. You guys left the door open for your mom's last service, or the tribute, the closure service that you guys were putting together for your mom. You guys left that open to be chopped up and diced up and put out there to the public in a real messed up kind of way. I'm just being honest. I'm sorry for their loss, but they opened themselves up to that. And I don't think right now they have the right to complain about it at all. It wasn't thoughtfully put together. You put it together to make it a huge, spectacular send-off. Okay, and what you got was a huge spectacle. Basically, that's my feelings about the whole Aretha Franklin funeral situation. You guys tell me what you think. Have you heard anything? I would say, what were some of your favorite performances and all of that? It just seems weird to say it like that. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Put it down below. Okay, you guys, that's all I got for you guys. I'd love to talk about it more with you guys down below. I know y'all probably sick of talking about it. What do you guys think about the commentary in this video? Do you feel like it was a spectacle? Do you feel like it was appropriate? Do you feel like they should have gone bigger? Do you feel like it should have been a little bit more private? Do you not have a problem with it at all, except that it was an 8-hour funeral? Let me know. Let me know what you think about it. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll holla.